Welcome to Skuddsikker-kanalen, the channel Skuddsikker. Have you ever felt that traditional training is complicated, time-consuming, or maybe just not for you? Well, maybe your picture of training is like in sweaty gyms, complex machines, heavy weights, and sometimes confusing programs. Well, in this video I will show you something very different. This is how we work in Skuddsikker, on skuddsikker.com, all the systems. This is a way of training where you don't have to move a lot. You don't have to count reps. You still build strength. You will learn how to protect your joints and how to train your nervous system and your brain and rewire your brain and create a better focus at the same time. This is called isometric training. And the beautiful part of this is almost anyone can start at home, at work, or wherever you are. So what is this? What is isometric training? Let's keep it simple, or at least as simple as I can. Isometric training means you create muscle tension without moving. All right? Without moving. Think of a plank, you know, the classic plank. Your body stays still, but your muscles are working really hard. Or a wall sit, my favorite. You sit like in an invisible chair style against the wall. After a while you feel that your legs are burning, but you're not moving. That's isometric training. Isometric training means that you hold a position, your muscles contract, you breathe like we teach 360 band breathing and so forth, and you stay focused. But there is little or no movement. It can be things like pressing your hands like this firmly against each other, or like this, pulling against a belt or a towel that doesn't move. Holding a static position at an angle where the muscle has to work. At an angle that the muscles has to work. For a beginner, you can think of it like this. Or even if you're not a beginner, a pro, you switch on the muscles without bouncing up and down. You put yourself in a very strong position and then you stay there for a while. You let your body do the work while you hold the position. So why is isometric training effective? Why does it work so well? Why do I use it all the time? Well, 80% of all my training is isometric. Why do more coaches like me and researchers like the people I work with, or therapists all over the world, why do they work with it? And why do we talk more and more about it? Well, I'm going to give you some reasons. It's very joint friendly. Because you're not bouncing, jumping, throwing weights around. Can be good too, but this is not for everyone. This is what we do here. You don't need to do that. You load the joints, cartilage and tendons and fascia lower than many dynamic exercises. That makes isometrics especially interesting for beginners or older adults like myself. People with pain or previous injuries that won't really heal. And anyone who wants to train smart, all of my clients want to train smart, not harder. Strong signals to the nervous system are created. When you hold a position and actively create tension, you send a very clear signal from the brain to the body and back and forth that we need to be strong here at this specific portion of the body that we're focusing on. It's like you have a neurological volume knob. You know, you can turn it up. How much force you can turn on and how well you can find and control that muscle or a chain of muscle, you know, the posterior muscle chain, for example. And we learn how to focus and create cognitive awareness when we train isometric. Isometric work invites concentration. You can feel your breathing. You can feel the shaking in your muscles, the way your body searches. It searches for stability, and your brain. That makes this type of training perfect to combine with, and we do, conscious breathing. We have a specific breathing system, and cognitive or brain training. Mental presence and awareness, cognitive awareness. We focus heavy on that. So you're not just training your body, you're training how you show up in your body. How you show up in your body. It's time and equipment efficient. You can get a really solid, trust me, a really solid workout in a short time. 3 to 5 positions, 20 to 45 seconds per hold, a couple of rounds on that, and you're done. And you can do it on your living room floor, in the sofa, against the wall, using a kitchen table, a chair, or as we do in training, we use our body as a resistance, as a tool. So for many people who feel that training takes too much time, isometric training is very concrete. It's a very concrete way to get started. It builds base strength where you need it. You can choose angles and positions that matter, that really matters in your real life. And the positions you use when you lift things, the shapes your bodies are in when you sit for long periods, places where you often feel weak or unstable. So in that way, isometric training becomes a way to reinforce exactly the positions when you usually feel vulnerable, both physically and psychologically. So, when we talked about isometrics, we went through the basics. We've done that in several lessons during the winter. What training is using isometrics, joint friendly, effective, accessible for almost everyone. But this is when it gets really exciting. Next level here. Some researchers have looked even deeper into what happens in the body, down at the cellular level. And you know that I'm interested in that. How tendons and tissues and fascia adapt to load. And one of the most interesting people in this area is Dr. Keith Baar, B-A-A-R. And he has worked with something you can think of as molecular training. How the right type of loading can stimulate tendons and connective tissue, fascia, to become stronger and more resilient in very specific ways. And this is where isometric training gets an extra dimension. It's not just about getting stronger, even if that is very important, of course, in the everyday sense. It's about influencing the biological processes that build up the structures of your body. And that's important for the society, for people, for kids, elderly, everybody, top athletes. So in this video, we had an introduction and for some a repetition to isometric training. What it is, why it works, and why it can be a fantastic way to start training smarter, regardless of age or training background. Trust me, doesn't matter. And in the next video, we'll take the next logical step into isometric training with Dr. Keith Barr, and then it's molecular training. We'll look at how you can use these principles to help your tendons, fascia, ligaments, collagen, and tissues to become stronger from the inside out. A new dimension. So, follow me along on this journey. Continue your education, subscribe on the channel, like the video, and leave a comment on the webpage about what are you most curious about when it comes to isometric training. So see you in the next video, guys, and thanks for training. Talk to other people. We need more people into this very low cost, high payoff training. Spread science. Well, that's it. My script is over. Thanks for listening.